Hello, grade 10. Welcome back to our English class. This is your MDL English teacher, Ma'am Fanny M. Luna, signing in. Guided by the Balasbuco Santa Maria National High School's living mantra, bringing the best, strengthening the minds, and nurturing the hearts of the students, we are now on the episode 2 or week 2 of quarter 3. This week's lesson is crafted from the Learner's Packet or LEAP, specially designed for junior high school. The lesson title is Using a Variety of Informative, Persuasive, and Argumentative Writing Techniques. For the most essential learning competency, you are expected to use a variety of informative, persuasive, and argumentative writing techniques. Writing as one of the 5 macro skills in the communication process is considered to be an important form of communication. Over the years, developing writers become good ones as they have embraced a clear understanding of the different types of writing techniques and the specific purpose each one serves. As we proceed with this lesson, let us have this activity. Read the speech bubbles below. Decide to which of them uses writing techniques in the following types: informative, persuasive, and argumentative. Please write your answers on your notebook. Let us have the first speech bubble. According to a study by Evangelista in Eduscape magazine, 90% of students who studied abroad with TESOL or teaching English to speakers of other languages are admitted to their first or second choice for graduate school. Let us now proceed with the second speech bubble. Studying abroad will have long-lasting positive implications on a student's future as an academic and a professional. Why not make an appointment with the Study Abroad Center at your university? You have nothing to lose by starting a conversation today. Gear up for your future. And for the last speech bubble, we have beyond college, students who study abroad will be better equipped to succeed in the workplace. Their broadened worldview will help them relate to their coworkers, especially in the worldwide organization. In spite of these benefits, some parents simply will not allow their children to study abroad because of safety and money issues. In these cases, it is more important to take a look at new windows of opportunity that will fling open the moment they graduate. So we are already done with the 3 speech bubbles. You have to choose whether it is an informative, a persuasive, or an argumentative. Have your answers on your notebook. We are going to process your answers as soon as we gone through with this lesson. One of the best ways to develop your skills in writing is to learn how to choose the most effective approach or technique to get your message across. In this lesson, we will explore techniques to help you apply them in informative, persuasive, and argumentative writing. First, let us have the different ways and techniques in dealing with informative writing. Informative writing educates the readers by imparting straightforward information, facts, and details on a certain topic. The same way that informative writing gives them a new understanding or new appreciation of some topics which one might be familiar. And lastly, informative writing answers questions of why and how. We have different types of informative writing. First is the definition essay. Definition essay provides detailed explanation of an idea. Let us say, for example, you are about to write an essay about love. Second type of informative essay is what we call the cause and effect essay. This kind of informative writing explains the connection or link up of two or more events. Let us say, for example, you are about to write an essay about cyberbullying. Third type of informative writing is what we call opposing sides story. It presents all sides of an issue. Let us say, for example, an essay about death penalty. And lastly, we have the process essay. This type of informative writing gives a step-by-step explanation on how something works or how to do something. Example, how to travel solo successfully. Let us now have the essay prose parts of an informative essay. We have this structure, I plus MID plus C. I stands for introduction, MI for main idea, and D for details, C for conclusion. Usually, an informative essay can be composed of three parts or three paragraphs. First paragraph for the introduction, second paragraph for the MID, for the main idea and for the details that support your main idea, and for the last paragraph, we have the conclusion. Just like what I have mentioned earlier, let us have the first paragraph. On the first paragraph, we have letter I, and that is for your introduction. On your introduction, you have to introduce the topic using words from the prompt. Then write a thesis statement that contains all the main ideas you want to write about. So you have to introduce your topic by using the prompting words. By then, you are going to create the thesis statement that contains all the ideas that you would like to write for the entire essay or for the entire paragraph. For this example, we have here three paragraphs for the MID. MI for the main idea, and D for the details that support your main idea. So we are already done with the first paragraph, and that is your introduction. Let us now have your second paragraph. For the second paragraph, you need to have your MID, your first main idea sentence that begin with first. And this main idea sentence should be followed by your details, and you have to use text evidence to prove your point. So guys, that is for your second paragraph. Let us now have the third paragraph. So for the third paragraph, still we have the MID pattern. MI for the main idea, and D for the details that support your main idea. So let us focus that we are now on the third paragraph. On your third paragraph, you have to state your second main idea sentence. This time, you should begin with in addition, simply because your first idea has been written on your second paragraph. Since it is your second main idea, you have to begin with in addition. And again, it should be supported by your details, and you have to use text evidence to prove your point. And now, for the fourth paragraph, that concludes your body or the body of your essay, of your write-up, is that you have to deal with your third main idea, and you have to begin with finally. Again, you need to have your details that support your main idea. And with this, you have to use text evidence to prove your point. So let us recap. First paragraph is your introduction. You have to establish your thesis statement. For your second, third, and fourth paragraphs, you have to write your MID, your main idea 1, main idea 2, and main idea 3. With these three main idea sentences, they should be supported with your details, and you should have your text evidences to prove your point. And you may have these transitions like we have first, in addition, and finally. You can even have any other transition that can figure out that this one is your first main idea, the third paragraph or this next main idea is your second, and with the fourth paragraph, you have your third main idea. You have your freedom to use which transition to use. And for the fifth paragraph or last paragraph of your essay, we have here C that completes the structure I plus MID plus C. C stands for conclusion. So on your conclusion, you have to restate the thesis statement. And this thesis statement has been established on your first paragraph, which is your introduction. So for your thesis statement, you have to begin with in conclusion, simply because this will wrap up the entire essay. So you have to conclude what you have written from the first, second, third, and fourth paragraph. So your conclusion will be written on the fifth paragraph. Now let us have the second kind of writing, the persuasive writing. Persuasive writing convinces the readers of the validity of the writer's argument. It also builds arguments on opinion and factual statements. Persuasive writing intends to make the readers do certain things. And lastly, persuasive writing presents arguments only about one. So in writing a persuasive essay, we have these parts. So we have I plus B3R plus C. So probably you might have your idea about this I and the C. So for letter I, we have here the introduction. Letter B is the body. And in the body, we need to have 3 reasons. And lastly, for letter C, we have conclusion. So what are you going to write with your introduction? So introduction is your letter A. So writing a persuasive essay is the same as writing informative or argumentative. These are all as easy as ABC. So letter A, introduction, articulate your source of information with a thesis statement. So your reaction to the issue. You must always begin your essay with your introduction. And it is very important that in your introduction, you must be able to establish your thesis statement. This is what your essay is all about. And for letter B is body. Just like what I have mentioned earlier, on the body of your persuasive writing, you have to list down, you have to write down at least 3 reasons for your opinions. And lastly, for letter C is your conclusion. You have to restate your opinion in a persuasive way. You have to wrap up your idea. Let us now proceed in the different techniques of persuasive writing. First, choose a subject that interests you and that suits your purpose and audience. Remember, persuasive writing is writing with conviction. Therefore, you must be able to convince your reader, your audience, to believe on what you are saying. Number 2, address the audience. It is very important that you must be able to have a communication with your audience. There must be a link between you as a writer or a speaker and your audience as your listener. Number 3, clarify the purpose. For you to be able to convince your reader to believe on what you are believing in, There must be clarity on your purpose. The purpose must be clear enough to be transcend to your audience. And number 4, we have make a draft for your essay. Never ever write or speak in front of other people, especially when you are doing a persuasive talk without having a draft. This draft will serve as your guide in dealing with your purpose. Lastly, in persuasive writing, it is very important that you must be able to use words that reveal personal judgment or viewpoint. So for your point to be convincing, so you have to use these sample words as part of your talk or as part of your write-up. So we have here undoubtedly. We also have furthermore. For example, exactly, fortunately, most likely. We also have all, for, worst, definitely, reason, none. We also have this group of words such as remember, against, feel, best, must, should, and always. Let us now have these reminders. Number 1, add an interesting question or an anecdote for the introduction. Personal experience or anecdote has a great impact for your listener or for your reader. Number 2, use appropriate figures of speech to strengthen your appeal. It is very appealing if you use the figures of speech. You can have these flowery words to have a greater impact among your audience. And number 3, use reasons and examples as support. There's no greater thing as having reasons and examples to convince your readers. We also have use factual and opinion statements. So in persuasive writing, it is not that you are going to focus only with your opinion. Your opinions must be based with facts, and they must work collaboratively on your essay. Remember to summarize your reasons. And as a writer of persuasive essay, you have to use the last sentence to further persuade your readers to agree with you or invite your readers to action. So the last sentence or even the last 2 sentences of your persuasive essay has a work to do, and that is to convince your readers. There must be a great impact to the readers when it comes to your last sentence. And lastly, you have to revise and polish your work. Let us now have the last kind of writing, and that is argumentative writing. We have already discussed argumentative writing on the first week of this quarter. So this time, we're going to have a slight review of what argumentative writing is. So how to outline your argumentative essay? So first and foremost, we have here the ABC or the IBC. So we have the introduction, we have the body, and we have the conclusion. Number 1 is your introductory paragraph. On your introduction, present the topic of the essay in an interesting way. Using humor in presenting important quality or an issue may interest the reader. So it is very important that your introduction is catchy enough to hook the attention of your reader or your audience. Number 2 is the thesis statement. This is part of the introductory paragraph, and it states the topic and the purpose of your entire essay. Remember, thesis statement is part of your introduction, and this thesis statement covers up your topic, what your essay is all about, and your purpose of writing the entire essay. Now let us move on to letter B, the body paragraphs. Mostly, this body paragraphs is composed of 3 paragraphs. Paragraph 2, 3, and 4. Simply because these body paragraphs support and develop the thesis statement. Each paragraph in an essay supports the thesis statement of the introductory paragraph. So, on how many paragraphs you were able to write, what important is you must be able to support your thesis statement. Your main idea or the details supporting your main idea must be something that support your thesis statement. Why? Because your thesis statement is what your essay is all about. And this will cover up your purpose on writing your essay. And lastly, we have here the conclusion. So conclusion summarizes the thoughts and brings the paragraph to a close. Conclusion has a separate work to do when it comes to your essay because conclusion concludes. It wraps up, it covers up the entire essay. And this conclusion has a work of making or breaking your purpose. What important is, you must be able to summarize your ideas, your thoughts well, so that you may be able to bring your purpose to your audience or readers. Thesis statement has a special function on your introduction, so to say, with the entire essay. Thesis statement talks about your topic and it brings your purpose to your audience. So it is very important that you must be able how to write effective thesis statement. First, write a sentence that states the topic and the purpose of your entire essay. Let us say, for example, the importance of Malagonlong Bridge to the people of Tayabas City. So just state what your topic is all about and your purpose of the purpose of this topic to your entire essay. So just like with this example, the importance of Malagonlong Bridge to the people of Tayabas City. So this essay is all about Malagonlong Bridge and its purpose, the importance of this Malagonlong Bridge to the people of Tayabas City. So thesis statement is a statement that covers up your topic and its purpose. Number 2, in writing a thesis statement, you have to turn the sentence into a question and answer it. Let us say, why does Malagonlong Bridge important to the people of Tayabas? So we have these answers. Malagonlong Bridge is considered as one of the most important heritage sites in Tayabas City. It marked the first labor, also known as polo labor, done by the people of Tayabas. So as a persuasive writer, you must be able to focus on your topic and its purpose. And from the time that you have already pointed out your topic and its purpose, you must be able to turn this sentence into a question. And as a persuasive writer, you must be able to answer this question. Number 3, your thesis statement should state a disagreement and then disprove it. Introduce an idea that contrasts with your belief and immediately explain why you disagree with it. For example, while some people believe Malagonlong Bridge is just an ordinary bridge, others say it can turn the city into a versatile tourist attraction. So you are going to have your idea and you must be able to have a contrasting idea with your belief. Just like what we have on this example, that some believe that Malagonlong Bridge is just an ordinary bridge. But despite of the fact that this Malagonlong Bridge is just an ordinary bridge, others say that this turned the city into a versatile tourist attraction. So you have already written a contradiction. to the previous statement that you have already stated. Lastly, a thesis statement briefly outline your main points. Introduce your main point and explain how you'll back it up. Let us say, for example, you can turn Malagonlong Bridge into a tourist attraction by adding some amenities to cater the visitors. This method is effective because it gives readers the clear idea of everything you are to discuss in your essay. So after that you have introduced your main point, you have to explain how you are going to back it up. Now let us have the different types of argument claims. So first, we have fact. It is whether the statement is factual or untrue. An argument claim deals with definition, the dictionary meaning of what you're arguing, plus your own personal understanding of it. Number 3 is the value. It refers to the significance of what you are arguing. And number 4, cause and effect. What causes the problem in your essay and what effect it has. And lastly, we have the policy. Why the reader should care and what they should do about it after reading. In argumentative writing, the main argument presented is elaborated and explained through the presentation of its pros, which is in favor of, and cons, which is against, of your position in an issue or topic. It begins with an introduction and ends with a conclusion. In between are the body paragraphs where you must do 3 things. Support your opinion, present the opposing point of view, and tell why that viewpoint is wrong. When you write an argument, you are trying to convince your reader that your opinion is correct. A strong argument has 5 key parts. And these 5 key parts are the following. We have here the I that covers with your C and T, added to letter B with your PCR, plus the letter C, which is your conclusion. So we have this structure. I dash C slash T plus B dash PCR plus C. So first, we have the introduction. Introduction must have the CT. When we say CT, introduction refers to the claim and thesis statement. Letter B, we have the PCR. P for the pros and its evidence. When we say pros, it is in favor of. And then letter C, the cons or the counter argument or simply against. And letter R, the refutation or the rebuttal. And then lastly, we have letter C, the conclusion. Now let us have the introduction. Your introduction must have your claim or your thesis statement. I have already mentioned it. I have already uttered it a lot of times in this video lesson. The thesis statement refers to your topic and its purpose. So this deals with the statement of opinion. This is the topic of argument. This is what you have to talk about in the entire essay. For the body of your argumentative essay, we have here the PCR. So P for the pros or the evidence, which is in favor of. So you must deal with proof of facts that support your argument. Second is your counter argument or the cons, simply the against. So counter argument or cons deal with an argument that your reader would make if they disagreed with your claim. And lastly, for the body, we have the rebuttal or the refutation. So this part of your body refers to your response to the counter argument. So when we say pros or the in favor of, you have to write your proof of facts. And then on your counter argument or cons, you have to develop your counter argument. How are you going to bluff your evidence? And then lastly, for the rebuttal or refutation, you need to make a response to your counter argument that you have made on number 2. For the last paragraph of your argumentative essay, we have here the conclusion. Just like what I have mentioned, it is a strong restatement of the original claim. It wraps up. So conclusion has something to do with the impact made by your essay to your reader or your audience. That's all for this episode. You may now proceed on answering the learning task on your learning activity sheets. This is Ma'am Fanny Luna, your MDL English teacher, signing off. Happy learning. Keep safe, everyone.